and where are you from?
Hello, my name is Lorena. I live in Bodega Bay, California.
All right, and what do you do?
I am volunteering to protect seals, and I am a special education teacher and a behavior specialist working with emotionally disturbed kids.
Fantastic. Where are we now?
We are in Jenner, California, by the beautiful Jenner estuary.
And there are some harbor seals out there.
Yes, it's harbor seal pupping time, and so we're trying to be really careful to make sure that people stay a distance from the harbor seals so they're protected.
Fantastic. And has the weather changed, or the climate? Has the climate changed much since you were a kid?
Oh yes, the climate has changed tremendously since I was a kid. I grew up on the East Coast where we used to have feet of snow every winter, and now there's none. And out here in California, usually by the end of February, we're in spring with green grass and flowers. And this year, as people probably know, we've had volumes and volumes of rainstorms, which we welcome because we've been in a drought. But that is really unusual for us to have this much rain in the months of February, March, and April. So it's a real difference, and it's really creating some things happening with the climate as far as the rivers and streams and flooding and landslides and things like that.
Also, you told me before the interview that you used to live west of Highway 1, but much of the old neighborhood that you lived in has been abandoned? Or?
Well, the neighborhood that I used to live in was on the coast, right on the coast on a cliff in Bodega Bay. And the El Nino storms of 1998 really literally took out our whole neighborhood. There used to be 15, 20 houses there that don't exist anymore. And due to climate change and the severe change and the rising of the seas, over time, the weather and the seas have taken out so much of the base of the coast below that gradually it eroded the cliffs along with rain coming down, and the cliffs just fell apart and the houses just had to either be moved or they literally fell down the cliff.
Some of them fell down the cliff.
Yeah, a few of them fell down the cliff, and then there were efforts to get the debris and everything up, and then others were moved into areas that were more up in inland. They had to pick up the house and move them. But we tried for days and days to save the houses with concrete. And so there were massive concrete trucks pouring concrete down the cliffs. But the bottom line is that will never work. And when I see other places in California trying to save the cliffs with concrete, I want to warn them, it will never work. The ocean is going to win. The ocean is going to go under the concrete and take away the rest of the earth under it. So we've seen a massive change right here in Bodega Bay, where we've literally lost a whole neighborhood of houses. Most people don't even know that that used to be a neighborhood. You'll also, in Bodega Bay is now a huge bridge that didn't used to exist because Highway 1 was so at risk of falling into the ocean because of the erosion over time and the high rising seas and all of the land getting taken from the high rising seas. So they've actually taken a whole portion of Highway 1 here in Bodega Bay and had to move it inland. And they'll have to keep doing that over time. If you look closely as you take your bike down the coast, you'll see there's areas where there's about this much earth left before cliff and
wow.
On Highway 1. Yeah, so it'll be over time you're gonna see more and more of Highway 1 that has to be moved further inland.
On an everyday basis, do you worry about climate? Say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most worried, where would you put yourself on that?
Well, being that I had a personal experience where the house I was living in was literally at risk of falling into the ocean because of climate change and rising seas, I'm pretty high up on the guard level. So I'd say I'm a 9 or a 10.
And what about the future? Are you an optimist or a pessimist, and what can we do about it?
I think the future depends largely on who we choose to elect. And I think if our leaders are leaders that care about the climate and are aware of the climate, then I feel optimistic. if our leaders continue to continue this silly debate of whether it's real or not, we've already wasted 10 years of doing nothing and debate whether it's real or not, when people like me have lived through evidence of it's real. We are losing the land over time because of the rising seas. We're having disasters all over the country in record numbers that we didn't used to have. So it's frustrating to see our leaders continue to debate if it's real or not when they see the effects of it right before their eyes every day, and it affects their citizens every day. So I will say succinctly, if we are led by Republicans, I feel hopeless on the climate change. If we are led by Democrats who seem more aware, I feel hopeful.
Very good. Here on, what is it, the 8th of April?
8th of April.
And in Jenner, California.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for visiting our beautiful land.
Thank you.